From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. The Prime Minister's plane touched down earlier this morning in Tokyo, the third and final stop on his 10-day overseas trip. Now, during Mark Carney's visit to the Japanese capital, he will meet with Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi. That country's first female Prime Minister, Takaichi, was re-elected in a landslide earlier this month. The first two legs of Carney's swing through the Asian-Pacific region included stops in Australia and India, where he worked to tighten an already close relationship and renew an older, fractured one. With both Israel and the United States continuing to attack targets in Iran, Israel says it is also attacking Hezbollah in Lebanon. Its latest series of strikes have focused on an area just outside the capital of Beirut, a longtime stronghold for the terror group. On Thursday, the IDF warned everyone to get out of the region. That kind of warning is an expansion of what Israel has done in the past when it has targeted smaller areas. Reporter Matt Rivers.
We don't know how long it's going to last for. We don't know exactly how intense these strikes are going to be. We don't know for how long it will go on. But it does seem that the Israeli military has moved into a new phase of trying to more systematically target Hezbollah in the stronghold of Dahia.
The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, urged all countries involved to de-escalate, saying that the world urgently needs to see steps to contain and extinguish this blaze. Ottawa needs to start giving landlords in the nation's capital a heads up on what kind of workspaces they'll need as they welcome more and more public servants back to the office this summer. Sean Hamilton with Proveris Commercial Reality says the federal government gave up nearly 1 million square feet of leased office space over the past 5 years as part of a drive to consolidate its portfolio.
Now is the time for the federal government to provide some sort of calm and clarity on their back to the office strategy.
Federal public servants are expected to be back in the office 4 days a week come July, while executives in the public service will be in 5 days a week starting in May. More witnesses are set to testify today in the civil trial of a woman being sued for defamation by a Quebec Cardinal. Cardinal Marc Ouellet was accused of sexual assault allegations as part of a wider class action lawsuit against the Archdiocese of Quebec and dozens of clergy and lay members. Those allegations have not yet been tested in court. In response, Ouellet launched a $100,000 defamation countersuit against Pamela Grulot, alleging that she has damaged his reputation, honor, and dignity. And an early heads up this weekend marks the return of daylight saving time. That means for most Canadians, the clock jumps ahead an hour at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. For British Columbians, though, this year's switch will be its last as the province adopts a year-round daylight saving time, simply dubbed Pacific Time. The loss of that hour annually triggers millions of complaints. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Ottawa Senators are making a push to get into the playoff picture. They beat Calgary 4-1 to move 4 points behind Boston in the race for the second wildcard spot in the NHL's Eastern Conference. Now, before the game, the Sens acquired forward Warren Foegele from LA for a second-round pick. Ottawa also sent forward David Perron to Detroit for a conditional fourth-rounder. Meanwhile, the Toronto Maple Leafs losing skid is now up to 6 games after a 6-2 loss to the New York Rangers. Earlier in the day, Toronto sent forward Nicolas Roy to Colorado for a conditional first-round pick. Mark Scheifele had a 2-point effort in Winnipeg's 4-1 victory over the Tampa Bay Lightning. And in Vancouver, the Canucks sent forward Connor Garland to Columbus for a pair of draft picks. And finally, the Montana's Brier in St. John's. Manitoba's Braden Calvert picked up the last playoff spot, joining Alberta's Kevin Cooey and Manitoba's Matt Dunstone as the Pool B playoff teams. Canada's Brad Jacobs, Newfoundland and Labrador's Brad Gushu, and Ontario's Jaden King, all advancing from Pool A. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.